Hello, this is Ross Bliley from the podcast Pigskin Tales. This podcast is sponsored by Sterling Soap Company. With products sold throughout 41 locations around the globe, Sterling Soap Company has a unique assortment of products to choose from for your loved one for the holidays. Handmade artisan soaps created by Roderick and Amanda Lovin since 2012, these products are affordable and provide great value. Act now and save on your shipping costs. If you purchase $75 or more, your shipping cost is free in the United States. Shop now online at sterlingsoap.com.
Hey there, sports history fan. Arnie Chapman here from the Sports History Network. Now, before you jump into this episode, I wanted to share with you an exciting giveaway we have going on with Home Field Apparel. We have a digital $50 gift card to homefieldapparel.com for one lucky fan of the Sports History Network. All you got to do is head over to sportshistorynetwork.com/giveaways to sign up. Again, that's sportshistorynetwork.com/giveaways. This podcast is part of the Sports History Network, your headquarters for the yesteryear of your favorite sport. You can learn more at sportshistorynetwork.com.
Hi, folks. Welcome again to another episode of Pro Football in the 1970s. I'm your host, Joe Zagorski, and I'll be talking today about the best NFL division in 1975. The American Football Conference's Central Division was unquestionably the best division in pro football during the 1975 season. 3 of its 4 teams earned at least 10 wins in a 14-game regular season. The Pittsburgh Steelers finished that year with a league-best 12-2 record. The Steelers would eventually go on to win their second straight Super Bowl championship at the end of the 75 season. The Cincinnati Bengals were just behind Pittsburgh. The Bengals finished 1975 with an 11-3 record, which was good enough for them to claim the AFC wildcard spot. Back then, only 4 teams in each conference could make the playoffs, and even though they did not win a division title, the Bengals nevertheless managed to earn a spot in the postseason tournament. Now, the Houston Oilers, however, they did not, but they did finish 75 with a strong 10-4 record. That would have been good enough for a possible playoff spot if they had played in a weaker division in the NFL. But the AFC Central Division in 1975 was definitely not weak. Statistically speaking, the Steelers, Bengals, and Oilers finished at or near the top of team statistics all across the league. Let's explore some of those stats. Pittsburgh finished the 1975 season as the 5th best overall offense and the 2nd best overall defense in the NFL. They scored 373 points in 1975, while only permitting 162 total points that year. There was no shortage of great players on Pittsburgh's roster. From quarterback Terry Bradshaw to running backs Franco Harris and Rocky Bleier, to wide receivers Lynn Swann and John Stallworth, to the steel curtain defensive players like Mean Joe Greene, Jack Ham, Jack Lambert, and Mel Blount. The Steelers just had a plethora of great players all up and down their roster. Now, Cincinnati finished the 75 season with the 9th best overall offense and 6th best overall defense in the NFL. Now, in a league with 28 teams at that time, those are fairly high rankings. The Bengals scored 340 points in 1975, and their defense gave up 246 points that year. Cincinnati's quarterback was none other than Ken Anderson, a passer who had the reputation of being one of the most accurate quarterbacks in the league during the era of the 70s. He finished 1975 by completing almost 60% of his passes, and he led the NFL in passing yardage that year with 3,169 yards. His passing average was just under 244 yards per game in 1975. That's pretty high. The Houston Oilers finished the 1975 season with the 12th best overall offense and the 5th best overall defense in the NFL. Nobody really expected Houston to be as good as they actually were that year. Yes, they had a strong finish in 1974 as they posted a 7-7 mark, but they somehow were able to ride that momentum to finish just one win short of the playoffs in 1975. Houston's strength was their defense, a unit which surrendered only 13 total touchdowns all year long. They won their final 3 games of the regular season at San Francisco and at Oakland, and at home versus the Cleveland Browns. They were unable to defeat the Steelers and the Bengals, however. If they had just managed to win one of those contests against either Pittsburgh or Cincinnati, the Oilers would have won a wild card berth. And truth to be told, there were several great divisions in the NFL during the 1970s. Most notable among them were the 1976 and 1979 NFC Eastern Division. But I'll go with the 75 AFC Central as being the best of the best, a division with 3 of its 4 teams winning at least 10 games in a 14-game regular season. Now for this trivia question today. What was the record of the Cleveland Browns in 1975, the only team in the AFC Central Division to not win at least 10 games that year? Thanks a lot for listening in to today's episode. Please check out the Sports History Network whenever you get a chance and hear all the different podcasts from many different sports. Thanks a lot, folks. I'm your host, Joe Zagorski. We'll catch you on the flip side.
This podcast is part of the Sports History Network, your headquarters for the yesteryear of your favorite sport. You can learn more at sportshistorynetwork.com. Hey there, sports history fan. This is Arnie Chapman, aka the Football History Dude, and I hope that you enjoyed this recent episode presented by the Sports History Network and were able to learn some good old-fashioned sports history knowledge nuggets. I started the Sports History Network back in 2020 with the mission to help podcasters find a community of like-minded sports history nerds, as well as helping aspiring podcasters to start their own shows. We have a little bit over 30 shows on the network right now covering all sorts of sports history, but as far as I'm concerned, we're just at the toothpick in the ocean moment, that can't even figure it out because there's so much more coming. We wanted to create the ultimate headquarters for sports yesteryear, starting with Podcast Network and our website, but we're going to continue to move into other mediums as well. And here's the cool part, because we want you to be part of our team. So if you're interested in starting your own podcast, or maybe being a guest on one of our shows, or who knows, maybe even writing an article for us over on the website. Seriously, all you gotta do is reach out to us on the contact page over at sportshistorynetwork.com. You can be as technologically savvy as a Neanderthal tapping on a stone trying to figure out this whole hieroglyphics thing back in the day. Again, it doesn't matter, because even if you don't understand the whole podcast space, we have a production team that can pretty much help you out with doing everything. All you gotta do, head over to sportshistorynetwork.com, head to the contact page, fill it out. That message goes right to me, and I'll reach out to you as soon as I can. But for now, dude, I'm through if you're through.